and this is how we get down. What's good, everybody? Welcome into a Thursday. Let me check my notes. It is January 29th, 2026. We got a little double dip Thursday. That's right. We are preempted on the Stadium Network this week. However, we are live here on YouTube and on social media. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button on the way in. It really helps the show grow. And coming up at 11 a.m. Eastern time, we'll get to the schedule in a second because I'm super excited. I told you guys yesterday we would be giving out a piece of merch from our merch store if we could have a winning day. I said 5-1, but you know what? I said 5-2. But since I misspoke and we went 4-2 yesterday, well, I am going to live up to my word. So for those of you watching on YouTube, if you put hashtag Mikey, because he simply cannot count, hashtag Mikey, and you will be no strings attached. You will have your name on the Coach and Brolette wheel, which we will do at the end of the show. Now, today's a little bit different. We're going to be doing 5 or 4 more Super Bowl props. A ton of fun today. Also, front page news, the latest on the fallout that is Bill Belichick not getting in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. We'll also hear from Tom Brady on that topic as well. In addition to our best bets, which I know are going to be fire, and I have 2 round 1 plays from the Farmers, which is 50 miles from where I'm sitting right now, and starts early this morning. In the late morning, if that makes any sense. All right, a couple of news of the day items. LeBron James, potentially his last game in Cleveland last night. They play a tribute video. He cries. Then he cried after the game because they lost by 30, 129-99, and potentially his last trip to where it all started back in 2003. Now, speaking of NBA superstars, Jason Tatum had torn his Achilles last May in the playoffs. The worst time you could ever do it. Told ESPN last night that he has not decided yet if he's going to try to play in 2025. He may just shut it down for the entire season and come back. He said, quote, "I want to get it right the first time." All right. Housekeeping is done. I mentioned our schedule, by the way. In addition to the morning show, no podcast today because we have Coach and Bro at 11 a.m. Eastern time. If you missed any of it, you can always go to our YouTube page, both of them, and subscribe, whatever show you like. We encourage both. All right. Thursdays is a great day here because I've got what I like to consider the A team. Ready to go. Opinions. Oh, very interesting. Ruining my flow already. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Let's beat the books. Oh, look who I have today. This motley crew. Are you kidding me right now? Now, this man, he's been following. Is he going? Is he staying? Is he going? Is he staying? He is live from Memphis, Tennessee. DG, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. We don't know what's happening down here in Memphis besides the Memphis Tigers suck, the Memphis Grizzlies suck. We don't know if we want to fire every coach. We don't know if we want to get rid of our best players. And it's cold. I'm miserable right now, but it's a Thursday. Let's pump this thing up.
Soft. Just soft. All right, next, he's the youngest member of our crew. He goes to TCU, not around the U. Young Peyton, good morning.
Morning, guys. What a rough game for the Horned Frogs last night at home against Houston. A late game that was on ESPN. Didn't start here till 8, so we had to wait all day just to watch our Horned Frogs go 4 for 15 from the 3 and 15 of 26 from the free throw line. Absolutely terrible. Brutal game.
Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And you're complaining? You're a college kid. You're complaining about an 8 o'clock start? What are we doing? What are we doing? I had to sit my ass last night at a Broadway night at 8 o'clock Pacific time.
Oof.
No Wi-Fi. Can't even check the scores. And you're complaining for an 8 o'clock start?
I had homework. I had to write for this show.
Liar.
Nobody really? Oh, my gosh.
No, you just always make us feel so old when you say crap like that. Now, speaking of old, He is our numbers guy. I'm sorry.
I'll give you that.
I'm sorry. Say good morning to Raphael Esparza. Good morning, Raphael.
You get a Raphael clap for that one. That was a good one. I would tip my hat for that one. Good morning, everybody. It's a great Thursday because I have more props to do today. That's why it's a great Thursday.
It is. It is. We got a lot of props we're going to get to. By the way, I know there's a lot of you that watch both shows, Coach and Bro and Coach and Company, and there's a lot of you that gave us super stickers, which we're so grateful for. Because of Wi-Fi issues, we didn't get to several of them on Monday, so I just want to tell you right here, right now, we're going to do all those $5 or more. We'll address all of them in the show today, so make sure you tune in for that. It's not a waste, and we apologize. You can see the Coach and Brolette wheel going down there at the bottom left. Hashtag Mikey. We'll get your name on it. We will spin it at the end of the show, and some lucky person will get a piece of merch. And I'm telling you, I have put our team on notice that we've got to have at least 3 new items by February, which is, 2 days from now? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, DG. Yeah, let's get on that shit. All right, gentlemen, I'm actually going to go first. I'm taking all the smoke. Why? Because in the next hour or so, a lot of the tee times are going off down in La Jolla, down in San Diego, down at one of the hardest big boy golf courses that there is in the world. So if you can't get it out there, you cannot compete at this course. So my 2 plays today, round 1. I love this guy. He's won here before. He won the Genesis when they moved it from LA because of the fires. Remember that a year ago? And I think he's going to come out on fire. Now, what is that? You're like, what's that graphic? What is that? That is getting a half a stroke. Now, I got this off my offshore book, but Thursdays and Fridays, you got to understand, if I like a player, I would encourage you to play in whatever your book has, whatever the matchup is. Saturdays and Sundays, they're way more uniform, and it's usually against who they're paired with on the weekends. But this can be very erratic. So Ludwig Oberg, I love him this week. Absolutely love him. We have him in a tournament pick, got him in a round 1. I'm getting a half a shot. So if they tie, say they both shoot 71, we win. We cash that. You lay a little more juice, but I'm okay with that. Xander. People love to play Xander. This is his home course. He's from San Diego. He's a legend in these parts. But he doesn't play well at this golf course. And there's 2 golf courses, the South and the North. Jason Day, he does. And Jason Day, all of a sudden, he's playing like a superstar again. Another great finish a week ago in the desert. And this guy is really coming into his own again, almost like Jason Day 2.0. We're also getting a half a stroke, meaning if he ties Chris Gotterup, they both shoot a 70. We catch that as well. By the way, Chris Gotterup, he's also starting to come into his own. Great summer last year overseas. That's why a lot of you don't know his name, but he is really, really, and he got the job done 2-3 weeks ago in Hawaii, but I don't think he gets it done today. All right, gentlemen, those are 2 check marks. I want to know who else is going to stand on the stage. You damn right, DG. Who's going to stand on the stage with the coach and cash those tickets? Let's go. What do you got today?
Yeah, give me a hell yeah. Let's go a little Florida Atlantic going plus 2.5, minus 110. FAU beat Memphis 89-78 back on January the 11th. Not much has changed except for the fact that Memphis sucks even more than they did back then. They just lost to Tulsa and Wichita State. But the main reason I'm playing this, Penny's lost the team, and even the blue hairs, coach, those are the old people, the old white people. All the blue hairs, they're not showing up anymore because they're out on Penny. They're out on this Memphis team. Let's take FAU. Then we're going to go with the flying Knipples. Con Knipple, over 3.5 assists at plus 105. He's averaging 4 assists in the last 10 games. But I look at this team and the Charlotte team, they're playing really well. The ball's popping around because of that. Knipples being a facilitator. I like his 4 assists for plus 105.
I could have swore you just said flying nipple. I was a what did we just say? What did we just say? Interesting that you play this guy for an assist prop. This guy, he shoots it. He's probably got the most confidence, wouldn't you say, DG, of any rookie that's playing in the NBA right now?
He does, but he's not shooting as well right now. And as you know, these rookies, they go through lulls. Mm-hmm. He's now a facilitator, so I like it here in this offense for sure.
I like it too. I don't know if FAU has ever gotten a hell yeah. like that. Maybe the first time in the history of their school that they got a hell yeah.
Well, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Ever since Lane Kiffin. We forget. He did coach at FAU, didn't he?
Yes.
Didn't he? In one of his 8,000 stops. All right.
Peyton wasn't born then.
Do you remember 2008, Peyton, when you were like 3?
4. Was that the Lane Kiffin the really bad promo video?
I mean, pick one.
Well, okay.
Yeah. That was the stop that he made in between getting saved by Nick Saban in Alabama, showing that he's an offensive genius. And that's why he gets all this money, because he is an offensive genius. We can say that about him, but he jumps, man. I wonder if he even buys. You think he even buys a house? It's always rent. Never stays in one place very long. Maybe in Baton Rouge, which is only about, 80 miles from where my guy Raphael is sitting right now. How far is Baton Rouge from you?
It's about a 45 to an hour drive. And he did rent in Baton Rouge. I did get confirmed on it.
Next level research. Next level. Raphael, my guy, go.
We're going to the NBA, and I stole this from DG. Hornets, Mavs, first quarter over 55.5. Anytime I see the Hornets first quarter 55 or lower, I'm taking. I don't care about that half a point. The Hornets are averaging 30 points per game in the first quarter. Why not? Their last 3 games, 33 points in the first quarter. It's all about the Hornets. I don't care what the Mavs do. It's all about the Hornets in this first quarter play. And I'm going to a late game. Take a nap again, people, because the Irvine Anteaters are at Hawaii or playing Hawaii tonight. It's an 11 o'clock start. Anteaters have won 7 out of 10. I know Hawaii has won 8 out of 10. But UC Irvine went to the island and beat Hawaii already this year, 67-66. In the last 2 home games, Hawaii has come to California to play the Anteaters. They lost by double digits. I'm taking the Anteaters, which were plus 1.5 last night, and now they're minus 1.5.
Very interesting. And you probably, Raphael, didn't even realize it, but with that last pick, you have, for our little family here at the show, everybody say it with me, a little synergy. You're probably saying, Coach, why? Peyton, maybe you could help me out with this. UC Irvine, they are about 10 minutes from where I'm sitting right now. Do you know the flagship station for UC Irvine basketball?
I think that'll be AM 830.
Oh, AM 830.
Yeah.
Who else has a show on AM 830 ESPN radio in LA?
That Roger guy, what's his name? The guy from Blind Date.
Oh, that Roger guy, the guy from Blonde Date, Roger Lodge. I believe they call it the Sports Lodge. And how do you know him, Peyton?
He's my pops.
He's your pops. You see the 6 degrees of separation. You see what I did there? All the way back around the Anteaters. Trent Rush on the call. He's a good guy, by the way. I like Trent a lot. All right, so I'm flowing right into Peyton. You see how I did that? Next level hosting right there, guys. Come on, there's levels to this game. So 2, 4, 6. I see 5 and 1 so far. Sorry, ref. All right, Peyton, my guy. I need to go 6 and 2 for a merch giveaway tomorrow. So, can you give me 2 check marks?
Well, if I promise you I won't be telling anyone to take the Nichols Kernels again, then I think so. Yeah.
That was funny. That was funny.
That will never happen again in my entire life. We're going to go completely different. Let's go to the ice. Take the over in the Ducks-Canucks game tonight. It's 6.5. Both defenses allow the most and second most goals in the NHL. The Ducks offense has looked much better lately. They're 8-3 in their last 10, so I wouldn't mind pairing this maybe with their money line, but I do like the over tonight for sure. So, all right, I'm going to go back to the hardwood. Tons of teams coming off back-to-backs tonight, by the way, but give me the Hornets to cover the 4.5 tonight here in Dallas. The Mavs are a complete joke right now, but on the other hand, there is a bright future in Charlotte. Brandon Miller has been outstanding. We've seen great stuff from Con Kniffel, and they still have LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges. These guys want to win, and I think they're a lot hungrier than the Mavericks, who just lost Anthony Davis for who knows how long, and now they're without Cooper Flagg. Give me the Hornets tonight to cover.
I don't know if we ever thought there would be a universe, gentlemen, where 3 of our 4 talent on the show would all have a play from the Charlotte Hornets. But alas, We do. We
Mavericks
do.
win by double digits tonight.
Yeah, that's exactly. Mavs win by 28. By the way, Peyton, somebody on Twitter said, Peyton, keep your head up. Those Nickel State, Colonels? He goes, yeah, did you see that? They tagged you, I believe. And they said they are now called the Privates after that game that you had the other night. So they lost, I guess, one of their patches on their sleeve in the military. All right, gentlemen. I love it. 8 play, 6-2. Roulette wheel tomorrow. But there is still one big story that is just hanging like a black cloud, and every day more and more and more BS comes out because of it. It's time. Raphael into the chat. We're doing front page news. All right, when this one first came out, gentlemen, everybody's like, what? What? And now that we're 3 or 4 days later, there's even more. What? Bill Belichick, 8-time Super Bowl winning coach, 6 as a head coach, 2 as a coordinator, an absolute slam dunk lock. Nobody cares about Deflategate or Spygate, even the voters. And Tom Brady, who was there for all of those Super Bowl wins, he was a guest yesterday on the Brock and Salk show in Seattle. And I want to play a little bit of that sound because even Tom Brady, the quarterback, can't believe what is happening. Roll tape.
Tom, how did you react yesterday or this morning when you heard that Bill was not selected to be in the Hall of Fame in his first shot?
You know, I just think that, to me, I don't understand it. I mean, I was with them every day. If he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, there's really no coach that should ever be a first ballot Hall of Famer, which is completely ridiculous because people deserve it. And he's incredible. There's no coach I'd ever want to play for. I'd rather play for. If I'm picking one coach to go out there to win a Super Bowl, give me one season, I'm taking Bill Belichick. So that's enough said. There's nothing outside of that. You know, again, when it comes down to votes and, you know, popularity and all that, like, you know, then welcome to the world of voting, and you may as well go, you know, try out for the Oscars or whatever and, you know, get a big panel to tell you if you're good or not. So it's the way it works. And unfortunately, you know, he's going to get into the Hall of Fame. In the end, I'm not worried about that. You know, and a lot of times in life, you know, for all of us, you know, things don't happen exactly how you want them or on your timeline, but we'll all be there to celebrate him when it does happen. And he's going to have a huge turnout from so many players, coaches that appreciated everything that he did and the commitment that he made to winning and the impact that he had on all our lives. And that'll be a great celebration when it happens.
Oh, Tom, that's nice. He's going to get in. But you guys know there's a difference between getting in and getting in as a first ballot Hall of Famer. Now, the Hall of Fame, which is located in Canton, Ohio, they felt inclined to put out a statement and basically said, and I'm paraphrasing here, we're going to be reevaluating. And anybody that does not follow the bylaws or the rules, they could be gone, out. So then that prompted, gentlemen, one of the voters from my city, from my old stomping grounds, the Kansas City Star, and his name, let me check my notes, Vahe Gregorian. And he did like a deep dive. I think he was trying to have us look over here when it was really over here. And basically, and DG, you're great at breaking this kind of stuff down. There are only a certain amount of votes. You can only vote for 3. There needed to be 150. It's like a bunch of numbers. But basically, he said, I was worried about others. That's why I didn't vote for Bill. Let's start right there. After all of this information has come out the last 3 days, what is your take now?
Yeah, look at some of these voters, and I get what the Hall is trying to do. They're trying to say, hey, listen, if you're going to make a sham of this, then they're going to go ahead and like remove your voters' rights. But in all honesty, like the guy from KC, I don't agree with it. But what he's saying is the whole system is screwed up. I should be allowed to vote for these other guys as well. But some of these guys are about to be off the ballot. And so he wanted to give them their last fighting chance, their last breath to have potential to get in and just remove the vote from Belichick because he thought Belichick would get in no matter what. And so what happened is there's too many people that thought like him, and now Belichick is not a unanimous or just a first-time ballot into the Hall of Fame.
As I said, you're so great at breaking this kind of stuff down. Listening to that and understanding it, there were 10 others that apparently thought the exact same way, because he said Deflategate, Spygate didn't even factor into his decision-making because Belichick already got punished for that all of those years ago. But Peyton, even if the system is flawed, even if you should be allowed to vote for as many people as you want there was 5, by the way, you can't worry about and maybe take the time frame off. Maybe say you can have a lifetime to get in. I don't know. But to not vote for Bill because these other guys that haven't gotten in 7, 8, 9 years, that you're worried about them, maybe they should have got in year 1, year 2. But they didn't, which means they're borderline. Bill is not borderline, is he?
Not even close. And I agree with Tom Brady on when he said, welcome to the world of voting. That's how things are now. It's politics, and there's jealousy, and there's so many stupid things that go on in the world of voting now that it just gets kind of frustrating. But honestly, it's okay because he's getting into the Hall of Fame, but it is just feels a little disrespectful at the moment, actually very disrespectful that he's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but they just have to wait a little bit, just like they had to wait a little bit for his girlfriend to be old enough to sit with him at the bar. So,
wow. Savage, but true. Savage, but true. He is by the way, Tom Brady, you wouldn't pick him first. You didn't even like him. So let's stop with that nonsense. But he is right that if you want one season, one thing, one preparation, it would be Bill Belichick. But this is clearly, DG, not about how many votes you can vote for. Belichick is an unlikable guy, and a lot of people in today's society don't like seeing unlikable people win. And he's not only winning on the field, but as Peyton just said, he's winning off of it in some way, shape, or form. When personalities start to drive voting, that's a very, very slippery slope.
Absolutely it is. And you got to look at some of these coaches, some of the best coaches of all time. If you've played sports, you don't appreciate the coach that's the hardest on you, the one that brings the best out of you because you don't realize it at the time it's happening. That's the kind of coach that Bill Belichick is he's doing that to his players. But what we're seeing now in North Carolina is kind of he's wearing some pie on his face because of how everything's turned out and his off the field issues and maybe his lady friend. But what this does for Bill Belichick is he's not first ballot Hall of Famer because that kind of gets swept under the rug because, yes, he does have the arrogance and that's who he is. But now, next year, you have him being voted in because it's a guarantee at this point. And now he gets to revitalize that image. And so I know Bill Belichick doesn't love that he didn't go in the first ballot. Now it actually gets people talking and he actually gets the people feel the love for Bill Belichick. So it actually works in his favor this way.
All warm and fuzzy. You know what, Peyton? You know what I would do? I would list all of those 11 guys when I stepped up to the podium, and I hope he has Brady induct him and not Jordan. But I would list all 11 guys, and I would say I'd like to dedicate today's induction to Vahi, Gregorian, to B, C, D, E, and F. I would be petty machete. What would you do?
I think I would do the same thing, but Tom Brady mentioned it too. He's going to have a huge celebration when this happens. I mean, it kind of feels like, the longer you wait, the bigger the celebration. That kind of is how this situation feels. It's just really frustrating in the moment right now, but DG said it really has people talking, and when you get to it in a year from now or so, it's gonna be a really big celebration, and we're all gonna be congratulating him. So.
Speaking of the Hall of Fame, real quick, I have a couple more topics in the chat. Mikey P's in there. He says we need to hear Big Tommy's take on the fact that Eli is going to miss for the second straight year, and every single quarterback that's won at least 2 Super Bowls is in the Hall. Should we be worried, DG, about Eli?
I wouldn't say we'd be worried about him, but I think rightfully so. He wasn't phenomenal in the league, but he was really good, and he was Hall of Fame level. And winning a Super Bowl, let alone 2, get you to that point, yes, he will be voted in, I would assume, the next year or two. But at this point, I think it's okay. I think it's just to not put him in right away.
I agree. He had 2 good seasons.
Yep.
He had 2 good seasons. Also, he's just irritating me in he's taking all my commercials. He's taking all my commercials. He's in like 14 right now. Should we be worried, Peyton, about Eli not getting in?
No, I think we don't need to be worried about him not getting in right now. If he never got in, that's a different conversation, but he will. I don't know if I was old enough to see those really good seasons for Eli yet.
Tell you what, I usually have so much love for you. So much love for you, but today you're just pissing me off. Just pissing me off. Topic number 3, and this one, it's going to make a lot of ladies upset. She's taking more money out of our pocket. She's taking the spotlight. Caitlin Clark, NBC, who has 6 people on their pregame, I believe, at least 5. And then they have 2 guys sitting on the bench. Then they have 3 in the booth. So I think they have 18 people working every single basketball game. But they've added one very big name, DG, and that is Caitlin Clark. She will now be a special contributor to their NBA coverage. She'll be on the Lakers-Knicks game, which is February 1st, 2 days from right now, at Madison Square Garden. Does it just make sense that she starts her broadcasting career at MSG?
I love this. And I first saw this, and at first I was like, all right, maybe this is cool. I like that they're doing that. Maybe they're trying to get a rub off the Caitlin Clark name. But no, honestly, I look at this in Caitlin Clark's side. This is phenomenal. She's rubbing elbows with some of the best in the game right now that are doing it. But also, she's a basketball junkie. She's not out there doing the runway shows and doing this other league that has potential. She's actually getting herself more ingrained in the game of basketball because she is that basketball junkie. I love everything about this. We're going to have some real insightful comments from her because I think that she has a brain and a basketball IQ that some don't realize that she actually has.
I agree. And I think this is super, super, super smart. They play opposite seasons. So she's off when the NBA is playing, Peyton. So I love it when athletes, and this happened a lot at ESPN towards the end of my decade there, like the last 2 or 3 years, a lot of players were starting to chase their broadcasting career before they were done playing so they could kind of just slide into it. Super smart if you can do it. I don't know if there's anybody else in the WNBA that can do it outside of Caitlin Clark. So this is a good move.
I think it's a huge step, not only for her and something different to do, but it's a huge step in the right direction for women's basketball. And my goodness, how thankful is the WNBA now to have someone like Caitlin Clark come into the picture and completely throw the WNBA onto people's radars now. I know she's not the first ever to do this because we have plenty of ex-players doing this, but this is the first time we've thought it was important enough to sit here and take the time to talk about it. And that's just the truth. So yeah, she's taking money from other people, but Caitlin Clark is changing women's basketball, obviously for the better, just by having her face there on NBC.
And speaking of women's basketball, when's the next TCU women's Horned Frogs game that you're going to be calling?
Frogs will be called tonight by me and my partner Chris Blake at 5 p.m. on 88.7 The Choice here on KTCU. Yes.
KTCU. Are you on the play-by-play or are you on or
I'm
are
doing
you on
color.
color?
Chris does play-by-play.
Man, I can't wait. I can't wait. Is there any way we can so there's a link we can online? Yes?
Yeah, if you literally just look up KTCU on like a browser or something, there's just a play button that comes up and you can click it right there.
Man, I watched your talk show last week and I was hooked. I mean, I was hooked right away. So you on women's basketball, let's go. DG, where do you think we would rate him on his color analysis? If you were just to guess, would it be a 6, 7?
You know, I'm not doing that one. We'll go 6.5. I haven't heard him yet. I did hear him on Peyton's Place. I believe that was last week.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. It was fun. And so I enjoyed Peyton's commentary. So I think 6.5 will go between those two numbers. So I'm not going to give them out just yet.
Wow. Everybody's being nice today to young Peyton. Oh, not me. I'm going to be a hard grader tomorrow. Hey, a hard grader tomorrow. All right. Every single day leading up to the Super Bowl, which is now still 10 days away. This fortnight always seems like forever. And we're tackling some of the more fun, I guess, props that you can have because Raphael has made over 100,000 of them, literally. So it's time. Let's kick it off. And we bring Raphael back with us. Raphael, have you even slept the last couple of days? You continue to. I get an email every day. Update. My God, what do you do?
I get about 2 to 3 hours. I take a nap sometime in the afternoon, so I would think total is probably about 4 to 5 in a day.
Wow. Wonder if you need something to help you get to sleep in the afternoon. Sometimes it'll be hard. Maybe check out Weekday Wagers. They're at 2:00. All right. Topic number one. We're kind of going with the Belichick theme today. And this is a rematch of a game that Bill Belichick won with Tom Brady because they had one of the dumbest calls in the history of the Super Bowl from the 2-yard line with Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. So the first question is, will Bill Belichick and Boothang Jordan Hudson attend the game? Yes is plus 200. No is minus 300. Let's piggyback down. DG, start us off.
I'm going to go with no, and I know it's a minus 300, but realistically, why would Bill be there? And so, yes, I know it's big money, but I think the plus or minus 300 is a good look.
I agree. I'm going to go with no. The juice is worth the squeeze. There's no way he's going. I think he's throwing his own Super Bowl party and making some Super Bowl sandwiches or something. I'm going to go with no on this one.
Give me the yes at 2-1. Brady's going to be there. Gronk's going to be there. His boo is going to be there. I'm taking a 2-1.
Raphael, you're not allowed to say boo. That's complete gimmick infringement.
Sorry.
It's boo thang if you're going to say it, which I would actually love to hear you say boo thang, but not boo. Not boo. It's not a horror film.
That relationship is.
Snap. Catching strays everywhere today. I'm going to go with yes. I truly believe that it's going to be because of Jordan that they go. She loves the spotlight. She loves people talking about her. And guaranteed, he shows up in Vegas. They can make a little bit extra cash. The only question is, do we take any of the rest of the adult cheerleading team that Jordan Hudson is on from Raleigh, North Carolina? It's the only question. Will Jack, that lives down the street, be there? I don't know. It's a very interesting cheerleading squad. Have you guys seen it?
Yeah, it's sad.
Really sad. Let's stay with that theme. I mentioned this is a Super Bowl rematch. It was the Seahawks when Russell Wilson was just a young pup. And then he took his bag, and like every other time that it happens, they suck because he took $50 million. But he's rich. He's rich. But now they have Sam Darnold and different head coaches. So my question to this is this. Who will be mentioned first? Bill Belichick at minus 150 or Pete Carroll? Yes, it was Pete Carroll that coached that Seahawks team at plus 110. DG?
So this has got me torn because I think that Pete Carroll will be mentioned first, but it's going to be before the kickoff. And so that's the only thing that worries me is I think Bill Belichick is in the conversation once after the kickoff first, but I'm still going to lean on the Pete Carroll, the plus money here because he is a Seahawks guy. I think that's got to be the right name here.
I think I'm going to go Bill because of just the out of Super Bowl stuff that's going on with him right now. I think they mentioned that pregame. I think they talk about that a little bit going up to it. And I think they mentioned Bill first.
I'm going New England winning the kickoff, so that means Seattle will have the ball first, and that's when they mention Pete Carroll's name at plus 110. So because the Seahawks do score first.
You do have to factor in all these other props that were, if this happens, this happens, this happens. And remember, if you've been with us, all of these bets are after kickoff, not in the pregame, after kickoff. So if that's being said, gentlemen, it's got to be Bill Belichick. Why? Because Bill Belichick, when they show the celebrities around, say this person's here, this person's here, I think he's going to be there. And so if they show these celebrities in the first quarter, and I think Bill Belichick is going to be there, then he could be the first or second one they show. So I'm going off one of my previous plays and catch this one. even though it's minus 150. Very, very, very juicy. All right. Let's stay with that theme. How many times will they show Tom Brady? Over 2.5. Juicy. Minus 200. Under 2.5 comes back the other way at plus 150. DG?
I'm finally drinking the juice on this one. Minus 200. They're going to talk about Tom as much as they possibly can. This is going to fly over.
Fly over for sure. They're going to cut to him a ton of times when there's big plays, good or bad for the Patriots. I think they cut to Tom Brady right away. Well, Tom didn't like that one. Or, I think they cut to him over. Minus 200 is really juicy, but take the over.
When you're looking at Super Bowl prop bets, there's no such thing as too juicy at minus $2 and minus $3 because it's a one-day event. Grab the 2.5 now because this will go to 3.5. A lot of money coming in on the over.
God, what world are we living in where you say, grab it now, it's going to go to 3? What were they talking about on that show? Oh, Tom Brady appearances, looking at his $600,000 freaking watch. There's no doubt this is over 2.5. There's no doubt this is over 2.5. All right, this last one, and this is very, very serious because there are relationships out there like Bill and Jordan or Tom Brady, and pick one depending on the week. But then there's Stephon Diggs. And Stephon Diggs has one of the most famous booth things out there. You got Kelsey with that wholesome Taylor Swift, and you got Stephon Diggs with Cardi B. So the question is, how many times will Cardi B be shown? DG, this is favored to the under. Your take?
I'm taking the over at plus 150. She could possibly be a surprise person in the halftime show. So if there's just a potential being on the halftime show, that would fly over. And so, yes, I love the over 1.5.
There is potential for her being, but even if she's not, we need to ask Raph if this is able to be parlayed because I want to throw Diggs receptions on here because we're basically taking the over on Diggs' receptions. Put these two together, you got like a plus 300 type of night. Every time Diggs catches a ball for a first down, I think they cut the Cardi B.
I like that analogy. I have a prop bet that has not been approved. I sent it to Coach about Cardi B and Stephon Diggs receptions. I was hoping they would approve it, but I do like the over at 1.5 at plus 150 because I think she will be shown. She is going to be the Taylor Swift of this year's Super Bowl.
Brilliant by young Peyton. But here's the question, guys. We know that the price tag of the boxes are north of $1 million if you want to sit in a skybox. So is Cardi going to pay over $1 million, or is she going to be in a random seat in the stadium? I'm going to guess no to the million. I'm going to guess certainly not in a regular seat. So she's going to be in somebody else's box who's going to be sitting in the chairs up at the front. And she'll kind of be back, dipping the chips and stuff. So I'm going to say she won't be as easy to find. I'm going to go under. I'm going to go under 1.5. This is a hard one, though. There's a lot of hard ones here, Raphael. They look ridiculous. They're a ton of fun, but they're actually hard when you really stop and think about it.
Try researching them.
Oh, my God. By the way, I don't know if you guys were watching yesterday. I know, Peyton, you weren't. But Mikey did not know what Full House was or the house that is in the beginning of Full House either. Never heard of it.
How?
I know, DG. I know. I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Trying to figure that out myself.
Peyton doesn't know that. He might because he lives in California half the time, maybe, but that's the only reason he knows. He wasn't born then either. He didn't know.
Oh, DG, you got to stop talking because, again, we have some synergy here.
Yep. I agree.
Peyton, who is your father's best friend in the entire world?
Oh, I was just going to say that. It's John Stamos. Okay. It's Uncle Jesse. However, I was just going to say that Roger Lodge was just the Hall of Fame drummer in the Full House show.
No way.
He was.
Yep.
It's kind of nice when you've got your best friend. He goes, "Hey, do you want to have a cameo?"
Yeah.
I'll take that cameo. You're going to play a drummer. All right, cool. How do you guys not know that? Do I have to do all the research for everybody to know that Stamos and Lodge Like, you literally call him Uncle Jesse, don't you? Like, you call him Uncle John.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. We got star power here, boys.
Last time I saw him, we went to a Savannah Bananas game together.
That would be awesome.
That's awesome.
By the way, Savannah Bananas, they are not only expanding their leagues this year. We've got to have picks on them. Raphael, we've got to be all over the Savannah Bananas this year.
We'll have. Oh, I should. Most books will have betting lines on the Savannah Banana League. It was such a popular hit on TV. The ratings were through the roof. So,
yeah, I wonder what the predictive markets would do with a Savannah Bananas situation. Raph, maybe we should discuss that.
Maybe they should help them out. Those.
Maybe they should. Maybe, if I know a guy. All right, gentlemen, well done. Well done today. A ton of fun. We'll be back tomorrow with more Super Bowl props, but we're coming off a 4-2 day. You only have a couple of minutes. Hashtag Mikey if you want to get your name on the Coach and Brolette wheel for a chance to win, no strings attached, a free piece of merch from our merch store. But before we do that, I want to make sure we have a second straight winning day. Let's lock it in. All right, 10 seconds or less, just one or two nuggets is all that I need. DG, start us off.
Who are we playing today? And that is the FAU Owls, plus 2.5, minus 110. FAU beat Memphis 89-78 back on January 11th. They do it again outright. But then going Nipple for the Hornets, over 3.5 assists, plus 105. He's not shooting so well right now, so he's dishing out the rock.
I'm going to go next because these Tea Times, they are sneaking up on us in San Diego. Ludwig Oberg, we're going to get a half a stroke over Xander today, round one. That means if he ties or wins, we cash. Also, Jason Day, man, his game is on fire right now. I think he gets off to a really, really good start. We're also getting a half a stroke at minus 140. So I think the juice is worth the squeeze. Again, ties or wins, we cash. Chris Goddard playing great, but not today. Raphael, let's go.
We're going Hornets Mavs first quarter over 55.5. The Hornets last 3 games, they're averaging 33 points per game in the first quarter. Just take that and cash with that. And in college basketball, we're taking UC Irvine minus 1. Last night, they were plus 1.5. The Anteaters have won 7 out of their last 10 and have won double digits over Hawaii the last 2 home meetings.
All right, young Peyton, bring us home.
We're taking Nicholls State, never again. We got the Canucks tonight to go over the 6.5 at minus 130. And back on the hardwood, we're taking the Charlotte Hornets to roll over this depleted Mavericks team. I got Charlotte covering by 5 or more tonight.
Yeah, somebody used to say, who's got it better than the Hornets? Nobody. All right. So, Raphael, my guy. Are you going to make me a little bit smarter today or no?
Yes, I am, because I'm going back to that Anteater game. They have won 22 of their last 24 games against conference opponents at home, and they're only minus 1 tonight. That's crazy.
And that game is here in California? Maybe I'll go in person. Maybe I'll make an appearance. All right. We'll get to the Coach and Brolette wheel in a second, but I do not like to be scolded. It's the one thing that on my show, on my brand, with my name on it, damn it, I'm not going to be scolded. And I just got a text message, and I'm going to read it to you verbatim. Verbatim. I will have you know, Uncle Jesse made me audition for all 5 episodes that I did in Full House. Somebody's up early today, Peyton. Somebody's up early today.
He's usually my alarm clock for these shows in the morning. He calls me and says, "Hey, you doing the show today?" I'm like, "Oh, yeah."
So you're telling me that without your dad, you wouldn't make it to the show? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I'm kidding. But I talk to him all the time.
He's not kidding.
No, he's not.
All right. So whenever we have a good day and I'm feeling very generous, I want you guys to rep the brand. So I see all the names at the bottom. Hashtag Mikey. That was the ticket to get onto the Coach and Brolette wheel. So the names are locked. It is now time. Who would like to take the honors to tell producer man to spin the wheel? Anyone?
I'll do it.
All right,
Producer
DG.
man, spin the wheel.
Let's go. Anybody but Big Cheesy. Here we go. That 49ers jersey's on back order. It's crazy. Nobody has any in right now. Who's it gonna be? Oh. Now this one actually makes sense. Super active in the chat all the time. Always, and that's what we love. So Raphael Clapp, producer man will throw up the email onto the screen. Email producer man. He will get all of your information, and we will get that sent out to you. We've had a couple things on back order, in all seriousness, but we're going to have a whole new merch store in the next week or two. So if you want to wait a week or two to have some more selections, you can do that too. All right, gentlemen, well done. I had no idea that we'd go down a rabbit hole of Full House today or Uncle Jesse. You just never know where the show's going to go. Is everybody good? Everybody good? Any final information we need to throw? Everybody's
Just the
good?
subtle flexes all day. Yeah, like Roger Lodge, the 5 episodes instead of just being on there. And then yours, Coach, it went under the radar, but I can't get it off my chest. You're talking about the ESPN time. Yeah. Instead of you saying your time on ESPN, you said your decade. I thought that was a subtle flex. I had to call it out.
It may have been. But I respect you call me out on that. I normally get called out for name dropping, but today, yeah, you're right. I'll take that on the chin. Gentlemen, well done today. Producer man, you know what time it is. Give me that one shot. Today, we are preempted on the Stadium Network, but that does not mean we will not be live in 13 minutes at the top of the hour with the Coach and Bro Show. And a reminder, all of you generous people that support the brand that had your super stickers that we did not get to on Monday, we will get to every single one of them today on the Coach and Bro Show. A ton of topics to talk about as well. But in the meantime, what a lot of fun we had today. And that's going to be how the show is going to moving forward. A lot of fun, a lot of sports talk, a little bit less of the betting. But you guys seem to really enjoy it, so we're going to keep going down that road. So with all that being said, there is only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window for our entire team. Damn it, do I love them all. My man DG, Young Peyton, Raphael, and producer man behind the scenes, along with hashtag Mikey, always making the show look like $1 million. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about every single day right here on Coach and Company. Have a great one. See you later.